Good afternoon and welcome. Before we begin, would you please silence all cell phones? Thank you. Also, it's very important that parents and relatives here tonight hear the name of their sons and daughters as they receive their diploma. Please respect this aspect of the ceremony and hold applause until all diplomas have been awarded. Thank you in advance for your understanding. Once again, welcome. We are here today on this very special occasion to celebrate and honor the class of 2017. We are here to showcase our senior class, those that have given so much of themselves these last 4 years, and those that will prove successful and make their families proud for years to come. As the president and principal at JCA, I've had the distinct opportunity to see these students grow from their freshman year, spiritually, intellectually, and academically. They have lived the mission of the school and have set the standard for our underclassmen as they have created and nurtured tradition. Class of 2017, you should be proud of your accomplishments. You have earned over $15 million of scholarship money. You have provided over 15,000 hours of service. You have excelled in both the academic and athletic arenas, and you have earned ACT scores that have beaten state and national standard in all categories. 99% of you will further your education in college, while some will join the military or workforce. We are forever grateful for your time at JCA, and I'm especially proud of all of you. Seniors, today should be a celebration and should be a stepping stone to your future, to which I know will be filled with the opportunity and reward. Parents, grandparents, guardians, relatives, friends, faculty, staff, and administrators, members of the Board of Members and Directors, thank you for joining us this afternoon. So we may fittingly honor JCA's finest, the class of 2017. Please allow me to introduce the individuals who share this platform with me. I would ask that they stand or remain standing until all are introduced. I also ask that you hold your applause until I've read all names. Sister Dolores Zeman, Board of Members, President of the Joliet Franciscan Sisters. Sister Rosemary Fong, Board of Members. Sister Lois Preble, Board of Directors. Father Warren Carlin Okarm, Board of Directors. Brother Larry Fidelis, Board of Directors. Mr. William Basie, Board of Directors. Dr. Thomas Dow, Chair of the Board of Directors. Mr. Nick Weiss, Board of Directors. Mr. Mark Carter, Board of Directors. And seated with their families, Ms. Luann Roth, Board of Directors, and Ms. Mary Whalen, Board of Directors. Also, Mr. Jeff Phelan, President of the Alumni Association. Please join me in acknowledging them with a round of applause. Remaining members on the platform assembly include our administration, Mr. Edward Mayer, Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Laura Paul, Vice Principal for Curriculum and Technology, and Mr. William Penner, Vice Principal for Faculty and Operations. Please join me in acknowledging them with a round of applause. Next, I would ask our faculty and staff of Joliet Catholic Academy to stand so we may acknowledge your efforts in leading these young men and women to the success we celebrate this evening. Please stand, faculty and staff. Thank you. It is now my privilege to call upon Sister Dolores Zeman for the opening prayer.
Lord God, we gather here this day to ask your special blessings on the class of 2017 as they leave Joliet Catholic Academy and continue to the next phase of their life's journey. So Lord, we ask that you teach them how to dream the dreams that you have for them. Give them clear vision to see the wonder of all that is possible and the courage to reach for the stars. Help them to approach difficult decisions they will face, asking for your guidance and grace. Lead them to continue to choose not what is easy, but what is right, not what is popular, but what is true. Help them to hold all that they have learned here at JCA and all that they have learned from their parents as a firm foundation for their future. And so, Lord, as they leave JCA and move eagerly into the world, may they carry the Franciscan and Carmelite traditions in their hearts. May the worlds that they travel be better for having been touched by their presence. May they leave footprints, loving footprints, in the hearts of all those they encounter in their lives. May their friends be many, their enemies few, and may you, their God, always be the focus and center of their lives. We ask your blessing upon each of them and upon each of us gathered here this day in love, in support, and in celebration. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, St. Francis of Assisi, pray for us.
Before we begin, for those of you who have been to previous graduations, you may notice a few changes. First, rather than having administrators introduce the valedictorian and salutatorian, we offer the two recipients the opportunity to choose the person to do their introductions. Incidentally, they both chose Mrs. Whitmer. We also felt that the colleges they are going to attend should be acknowledged. So we decided to combine those when we announced the graduates' names, and also thought that would be a perfect place to announce any scholarships that they have received. Please note that the scholarships that will be read are the ones that were returned into the guidance office. And finally, one last change. Since we have two students who have enlisted in the military, we felt it would be appropriate for them to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Liliana Vivian, U.S. Marine Corps recruit, and Samuel Martika, U.S. Navy recruit, to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Also at this time, we would like to recognize two graduates who earned the distinction of National Merit Scholarship Commended Students. I invite Christopher Mueller and Mark Capalvo to please stand and be recognized. Now I'd like to have Mrs. Deb Whitmer please come forward for the reasons of the salutatorian introduction.
In the past, when the salutatorian is introduced, a resume of their accomplishments is read. And while this year's salutatorian has her own remarkable achievements, I'll share those with you in a few minutes. First, I would like to talk to you about how I know her. I had seen Kelly Tustin around school for the past 3 years, but never really knew her until she became my student. She is one of the 4 students I had in AP Chemistry this year. One of the first things I noticed about Kelly was her quiet determination. She wasn't very talkative in the beginning of the year, and this actually made me think she maybe liked AP Calculus a little better than AP Chemistry, but only for a little bit. Over the course of the year, though, Kelly began to open up little by little. She grew in her ability in the class, and her work ethic was second to none. She was happy when she did well, and when things didn't go so well, she didn't give up. She talked to me about it, which I learned was a very hard thing for her to do, and she found her way through. Looking back now, I truly admire Kelly's strength and drive, partnered with her unique sense of humor. Another kind of unique way that Kelly and I connected this year was over running. I will never run like she does, but it's something we have in common, and it makes me smile when we cross paths running down Hayden Farm Road. I know Kelly had a hard time writing her speech, even hoped that maybe there was a mistake and she ended up being number 3 and not number 2. But no such luck. I told her if I had to write, she had to write. Okay, so now the resume part. Kelly has been involved in many things here at JCA, including math team, the Respect Life Club, the Red Cross Club. She's been a student ambassador, a member of the soccer team, and a 4-year member of the cross-country team. Kelly also dedicates a lot of her time to volunteer service in such places as Vacation Bible Schools and Hopeful Tales Animal Shelter. Kelly will be continuing her education next year at Valparaiso University, where she'll be entering the medical profession, majoring in their physician's assistance program, and I know she'll do outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 salutatorian, Ms. Kelly Teston.
Thank you, Mrs. Whitmer, for those kind words. Welcome, class of 2017. We made it. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kelly Teston, and I am the salutatorian for the class of 2017. Let me tell you, writing this speech was not easy. To get inspiration on what to write, I looked to a reliable source. I know I can't use Wikipedia, so I looked to the next best, Urban Dictionary. There, I found the real definition of a salutatorian. The person who just missed being valedictorian by a few GPA points. A very miserable person indeed. Second place is just the first loser. Well, that made me feel much better. But to make matters worse, my name is actually used in the example sentence. Go ahead, look. Actually, don't look. I paid for Mrs. Daly to take away your phone on your final JCA event. After that truly inspirational advice, I wondered how I would sum up 4 years in just 5 minutes. So much has changed since the first time we all sat in this room together. We've laughed together, cried together, and even sweat together since we don't have air conditioning. We faced many challenges, but we were also given many opportunities. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for most of you sitting out there today. I would like to thank my parents for sending me to this amazing school and for always pushing me to be my best. Thank you to my siblings for all their support and for never failing to tell me how much of a nerd I am. I will never be able to thank the teachers and staff here at JCA enough for teaching us so much beyond what books could ever teach us. And to my classmates, thank you for just being yourselves and for making my high school experience one to remember. Life is like a roller coaster. You can either scream every time you hit a bump, or you can throw your hands up in the air and enjoy the ride. As we gather here today, we look around the room at all the familiar faces that have become our family in just 4 short years. Our journey started right here when we all gathered for our freshman orientation. We sat in this very spot wearing our white polos and khakis, wondering what was going to happen over these next 4 years. Our journey started right away with the upperclassmen showing us the ropes, telling us to get involved. They showed us the ways of the hill zone by teaching us cheers, including my personal favorite, the roller coaster. And on that day, we began our very own roller coaster, full of ups and downs, good times and bad. We made memories here that we will cherish forever. High school was filled with so many good memories, like those Friday night football games filled with laughter, friendship, and even some baby powder. Dressing in the most random outfits during homecoming and spring fling weeks. I don't think any of us can forget about our last dance together at prom, where even the quietest people broke out dancing, and we all linked arms during our final dance together. We'll always remember that last game, match, or meet with our teammates, who had become like a second family to us. We will miss all of our favorite sporting events, musicals, clubs, and concerts, especially Ms. Hellstrom's handbell solos. Through an amazing experience at Kairos, our faith only grew stronger along with our friendships. We will miss Mr. Guerrero's stories and his advice on how to order at Chipotle, or endlessly hearing the same story in anatomy instead of staying on topic. Thanks, Mr. Barlow. Or always going to Mr. Clark's room for some chocolate because you know he has some. And like most roller coasters, we hit a few bumps along the way. The times we got back a paper in English from Mr. Allgood, and all you saw were red marks and the word "awk" written everywhere. Or we received our dreaded presents from Mr. Gall. Or how about when we had our first free dress day and we realized we had nothing to wear besides JCA spirit wear, khakis, and polos. Let's not forget about the 90-degree days where we sat melting in class wondering why we went to a school with no air conditioning. But no matter how many bumps got in our way, we always had enough. We got to have days and popsicles because of those hot days. We became better writers because of Mr. Allgood. We never got made fun of for our outfits because we were all wearing the same awful thing. And we learned how to work harder because of our failures. Each experience, whether good or bad, challenged us to learn from it and grow as a person. We are to end one of the best roller coasters of our lives, but a new roller coaster is there waiting to be conquered. Some of us are scared, and some of us are excited, and some of us don't know how to feel, because unlike the last roller coaster, we won't have our friends who we have known forever there by our side, or our parents always there for us, or our teacher at JCA whom we've grown a relationship with. And worst of all, we will be without our pets, who never fail to be the most excited to see us every day. This new ride we must try on our own. It will be a time for us to break away from our families and discover who it is we want to be. I ask you to take the advice and lessons you have learned here at JCA and try new things. Trust in yourself and be who you want to be. Stand back up when you fall because that is how you will grow. Find what makes you happier than anything else and don't let those scary drops get you down. Have courage to rise above those low points and become a better person because of it. Your whole life is still ahead of you, so make the most of it and enjoy all of those moments that will later become memories. So let's get ready for the next journey life has in store for us. So let's strap it in one final time.
Seniors, you all went through a unique experience over the last year, Kairos. I can't say too much about it because even though you've all been on this retreat, there are younger brothers and sisters here today. We don't want to ruin the surprise for them. Regardless, I think you will understand my meaning with the following. This speech is called Know Your Valediction. Her resume says she was on student council, a member for Habitat for Humanity, the Leo Club, Scholastic Bowl, the math team, Key Club, and the soccer and cross-country teams, just to name a few. She has been accepted to Tulane University, the University of Pittsburgh, Loyola University, Grand Valley State, Miami University, Ohio, and Drake University. She will continue her education at Creighton University as a member of the Dean's Fellow Program, double majoring in neuroscience and psychology in their pre-med program. But there is so much more to Audrey Greeter than all of these accolades. Let me tell you a little about the Audrey that I know. When Mr. Pender asked me about writing for both Kelly and Audrey, I was honored beyond belief. But then I had to sit down and write. I didn't know how to put my thoughts into words, so I took some advice from a very special student and just started writing my thoughts as they came to me. So Audrey, thank you for the advice. I had seen Audrey go from a nervous sophomore sitting in my room getting her AP Bio summer assignment to arguing and butting heads with Eva as they worked on the infamous Human Body Project, to finding herself in a new position this year in AP Chemistry of not always being the best, to becoming the proud, confident young woman sitting here with you now. I am also very proud of her, and not just for her academic achievements, but for the person she is. For her conviction of belief, her service, her friendships, and her ability to stand up for what is right, even when it's the most unpopular choice in the room. Audrey wrote me a letter not too long ago telling me about the impact that I have had on her life. And I won't lie, I cried like a baby when I read it. But I think she got it backwards. Every so often, a teacher gets lucky enough to have a student who makes them know, this is why I got into teaching. This is the impact that I want to have on someone's life. And for me, that was Audrey. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 valedictorian, Miss Audrey Greeter.
Hello, my name is Audrey Greeter, if you didn't hear, and I'm so honored to be standing in front of all of you
as valedictorian of the JCA class of 2017. Now, for those of you that know me, you know that I'm one of the biggest bookworms in the whole entire world. I even have a ring that says bookworm on it, so it's definitely official. Symptoms of this unhealthy obsession of reading books include procrastinating that 6-page research paper that still turned out to be 10 pages even under a time crunch, not sleeping the night before an AP exam because the book came out at midnight, and almost losing friends because I couldn't stop talking about said book. Despite these symptoms that seem to give my parents more gray hairs than they already have, I have learned the power of 26 letters that can form words and sentences, paragraphs and pages, chapters and novels. But there's a particular combination of these letters and words that have had such a profound impact on me. To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered, a quote by my favorite author, Sarah J. Maas. These words mean so much to me. As a young child, I often asked where people went after they died and if they were truly gone. But my mother always told me to look to the night sky where the stars were, and that they were my loved ones watching over me. She told me to wish upon those very stars, and that my wish just may come true. Even to this day, almost every night, I wish. I wish on every first star I see, on every eyelash, every dandelion, every 11:11. And ever since 7th grade up until January of this year, I'd always dreamed of being a doctor, but my one wish was to be valedictorian. A weird wish, I know. But this moment right now, it seems so far away then. And my future, it seemed even farther. It sounds like a waste of a wish, but that wish was coming from a girl who thought that all she had was a brain. A brain that could scribble out some words and fill in some bubbles that textbooks and teachers deemed correct. Whenever people describe me, the first thing they typically say is that I'm smart and that I get good grades. The first thing my parents brag about to other adults is that I am smart, top of my class. And over the years, being smart became my identity. I thought it was the best compliment I could ever receive, but it soon became the only compliment that I did. Now I know there are so much worse things to be defined by, but it soon became the foundation on which my life and my education, especially over these past 4 years, was built. I took the expectations of others and made them my own. Everything I did was to get good grades and fit the mold that seemed to be casted for me by my parents and peers. Everything I did in school was not to learn and grow in knowledge, but to appease my fear. Fear, or more specifically, a fear of failure. It's what became my driving force. It's what made me waste every wish on an honorable but almost empty accomplishment. I'm honored to hold the title of valedictorian, but I've learned that it's just that, a title. When I found out I was selected to hold this honor, it seemed as if I was the only one that was shocked. My wish, a wish that I had had for years, it had finally come true. But it is not in holding the title that it makes me proud. What makes me proud is the culmination of all of the work that I've put in these past 4 years. All of us sitting here today, class of 2017, we all should be proud. Not of the titles and the names that we've earned, but the relationships that we form with one another, the knowledge that we've gained in our classes, and the memories that we've made. We should all be proud because we did it. We made it. These past 4 years have definitely not been easy. As Kelly said, it's been a roller coaster of many ups and downs. But if even one thing had changed, with butterfly effect and all, we would not be the same people that we are today. After we go to college or the Marines or work, after careers and growing families, we won't be the same people that are sitting here in this gym. And that's okay. It shows that we adapt and that we change, hopefully for the better. I hope that all of you may learn to wish, and that you know that the stars will listen, that you may all learn to dream and know that your dreams in one way or another will be answered. But do not waste your wishes as I have these past few years. I have learned something through my experience though, that the power of a wish, of a dream, is not in fate or destiny's hands, it is in our own hands, that the impossible can become possible. We have the power to make our craziest desires come true. Whatever we put into this world is what we will get out of it. Just like for the past 4 years, whatever we put into JCA is what we got out of it. Hopefully, all of you here today have done everything that you wanted to do in these past 4 years. I myself joined the clubs that interested me, tried out for the sports that I loved, and took the classes that would best prepare me for the future. Student council, for example, taught me the importance of being a leader. In cross country, I learned that no matter how much I hated running, it was so worth it to be able to go home and brag about running 6 miles to my sister who had just taken a nap. Miss Shive taught me that linking verbs were the grammar equivalent to the devil. And from Mr. Midlock, I learned that my freshman honors world history book was my best friend. Unfortunately, I sold it. Hearing Mr. Borello's stories for the third or fourth time taught me that the first time is definitely a charm. And Ms. Dravik taught me that puntos are almost as if not more important than having healthy stress levels. Whether any of us actually learn the practicality of Pythagorean theorem or photosynthesis, we all have a solid foundation in which our futures will lie. Now, even though you aren't supposed to say a wish out loud because then it won't come true, I wish that all of you have come to understand as I have, that the power of a wish lies in our own hands. We are the ones that can change the world, and the world will change us. We've already changed JCA, both directly and indirectly. This class of 2017, sitting in front of all of you, we've witnessed the end of Mr. JCA, water main breaks, hot days of popsicles, Captain Bob cookies and powder puff, yellow walls, and so many amazing teachers. We've also seen the beginning of air conditioning and windows, a heritage garden, good cafeteria food, laptops, and new colored polos. JCA has changed almost as much as we have, and there's so much more to come. On your next birthday, as you're cringing at the key voices of your loved ones singing happy birthday, as you see that flame flicker at the top of the candle, as you dread that one of your friends will come up and smash your face in the cake, think of that wish nagging in the back of your mind, and wish with all of your heart. Catch that eyelash and pick that dandelion. Count the seconds until 11:11. And take a second to look up at the stars and wish. Wish for $1 million in world peace, for happiness and for hope. Wish to fall in love and grow old, for ice cream for dinner or to find your missing sunglasses. Wish and dream of anything and everything, and do everything in your power to make it come true. Now, there will be those that will tell us that our wishes, that our dreams are unrealistic, that we don't know what the real world is like out there, and that we're too young to understand, that they're wrong. Teachers and faculty, parents and siblings, uncles and aunts, friends, look at this class of 2017, sitting right here in front of you. One day, they're going to be the doctors saving your lives, the lawyers defending your rights, the teachers educating the bright new minds, the moms and dads raising the next generation of angels and hillmen. Another quote by Sarah J. Maas is, "The world will be saved and remade by the dreamers." We, the class of 2017, are the ones that will change the world. Not because we're the most talented or the smartest or even the bravest, but because we know that we can. We have so much potential, with JCA as our academic foundation, with God and our faith pushing us to be truly good people, and with our peers who have seen us rise and fall over these past 4 years. I truly believe in all of you, that we're prepared to go out there and make our very dreams come true, and no one will be able to stop us. It's time for me to give my thanks and say goodbye. To my best friends, thank you for accepting me for who I am and showing me that I am so much more than a report card. To my sister, thanks for teaching me to have fun and act like the kid that I am. Thank you, teachers, for showing me that I have the potential to be the best person that I can possibly be. I'd like to thank my parents for teaching me that I'm the one to make my own wishes come true. And thank you to JCA for giving me back tenfold everything that I put into this school. And to you, class of 2017, thank you for sharing in this high school experience with me. Look in front of you, behind you, to the sides of you, at the people you may very well never see again. Imagine how successful they'll be in college and in their future careers and in old age. But remember too that you have the potential to be successful. And don't be afraid to dream and to wish, even the wildest things. Graduation today is kind of like the final goodbye. The decal will eventually be scraped off that back window of the car. The spirit work shirts are in the donation bins and trash cans. Yearbooks will be stored into boxes and forgotten. Some of us will live out our dreams, and maybe our wishes will even come true. But when you, class of 2017, walk out of those doors for the last time, know that you are prepared for the future ahead. And remember that even if you don't look back, the doors will always be open. But when we come back, we won't be the same as our 17 and 8-year-old selves. But I would hope not. You will still always be an angel. You will still always be a hilltopper. And whenever you see that victory light, whether on a yearbook or a shirt, you will still always say, "Go Hill."
Ms. Woodruff, Kelly, and Audrey, congratulations once again.